Welcome to Just Gist TV. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because sometimes, the biggest stories don't come from interviews or announcements, they come from the smallest actions. And this time, it was just one click. No warning. No explanation. No build-up. Just one action, and everything changed. Maurice has officially unfollowed Wats on all social media platforms, and what should have been a quiet personal decision has turned into total chaos online. Fans didn't just notice, they exploded. Screenshots started flying across timelines within minutes. People refreshed their apps repeatedly, hoping it was a glitch. But it wasn't. Wats was gone from his following list. Completely. And in today's world, where social media actions speak louder than words, that one move said everything people had been afraid to confirm. For weeks, fans had sensed something was off. The energy had changed. The interaction had slowed. The connection that once seemed obvious had started fading quietly. But many still held on to hope. They believed maybe things were just private. Maybe the silence meant peace. Maybe everything was still intact behind the scenes. But this unfollow shattered that illusion instantly. Because unfollowing someone, especially across every platform, is not accidental. It is deliberate. It is final. And most importantly, it is visible. The reaction from fans was immediate and intense. Supporters of Wats flooded comment sections with anger and disappointment. Many felt she had been publicly embarrassed. Others expressed sympathy, saying no one deserves to be cut off so visibly after what looked like a close connection. The emotional tone shifted quickly from curiosity to concern. And then came the insider whispers. According to sources close to the situation, Wats is not taking this lightly. In fact, she is said to be struggling emotionally, finding it difficult to hide her frustration and pain. While she has not spoken publicly, fans claim her recent online presence feels different, quieter, more distant, less energetic. Some say her silence speaks louder than any statement she could make. Midway through all this chaos, one question started trending. Why now? Why would Maurice make such a bold move at this exact moment? And that's where things get even more complicated. Because this unfollow did not happen in isolation. It came at a time when Sonia Uche's name is once again circulating strongly across social media. Whether through her career success, recent appearances, or past connections resurfacing, Sonia's presence has been impossible to ignore. And as expected, critics wasted no time linking the two events. To them, the timing is not coincidence. They believe Maurice's decision to unfollow Wats may be connected, directly or indirectly, to Sonia Uche. Some argue that emotional priorities have shifted. Others suggest that boundaries, whether spoken or unspoken, may have influenced his actions. But here's the truth, none of that has been confirmed. No statement. No admission. No direct connection. Just timing, perception, and speculation. Still, in the world of public opinion, perception often becomes reality. Fans who support Sonia Uche have pushed back strongly against the narrative. They argue that she should not be dragged into every situation involving Maurice. According to them, linking her to this unfollow is unfair and rooted in assumptions rather than facts. But the pattern is what keeps the conversation alive. Every time Maurice makes a move, Sonia's name trends. Every time Sonia trends, tension appears elsewhere. Whether coincidence or emotional overlap, fans are finding it hard to ignore. And then there's Wats, the person most visibly affected. To many fans, this moment feels like a breaking point. After weeks of speculation, emotional tension, and public attention, the unfollow feels like confirmation of something ending. And endings, especially public ones, are rarely easy. What makes it harder is how visible it is. In private, breakups or emotional shifts can be processed quietly. But in the public eye, every action becomes a statement. Every silence becomes a message. And every reaction becomes content. Wats fans believe she is being forced to process something personal under public scrutiny, and that alone is enough to trigger emotional distress. Meanwhile, Maurice has remained silent. No explanation. No clarification. No attempt to control the narrative. And that silence has only made things louder. Some fans interpret it as maturity, choosing not to engage in drama. Others see it as avoidance, refusing to take accountability for a public action. Either way, the lack of explanation has left a vacuum, and fans have filled it with theories. As the chaos continues, critics are starting to say something many have been thinking for a while. This love triangle is becoming overwhelming. What started as curiosity has turned into emotional fatigue. Fans are tired of the back and forth, the speculation, the unresolved tension. And yet, every new development pulls them back in. That is the power of incomplete stories. They don't end. They loop. And this unfollow has restarted the loop. Another important question fans are asking is this. Was this necessary? Could Maurice Sam have handled this differently? Unfollowing someone publicly sends a strong message, whether intended or not. It is a visible action that invites interpretation. Some believe a quieter approach would have avoided this level of chaos. Others argue that he has every right to control his digital space however he chooses. Both perspectives exist. And both are valid. But what cannot be denied is the impact. One click has created emotional waves across multiple people: Maurice Sam, Wats, Sonia Uche, and thousands of fans invested in the story. As we move toward the latter part of this discussion, one truth becomes clear. This is no longer just about relationships. It is about perception, timing, and the emotional weight of public attention. For Wats, this moment may represent closure, painful, public, and unavoidable. For Maurice Sam, it may represent a decision, intentional, final, and personal. For Sonia Uche, it is yet another situation where her name is pulled into a narrative she has not directly addressed. And for fans, it is another chapter in a story that refuses to end. Before we wrap up, let's ask the question that matters most. Do social media actions carry too much emotional weight, or are they fair reflections of real-life decisions? Because in a world where one click can cause this much chaos, maybe the real issue is not the action, but the attention we give it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Maurice Sam unfollowing Wats was justified? Do you believe Wats is being treated unfairly? And is it right to link Sonia Uche to this situation? Let's talk. This is Just Gist TV. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one.